Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, back in Genoa, Molo Vecchio Marina. Sorry about these marks from the mask. So it's what, day after Christmas, and I wanted to get this video done before Christmas because I wanted to put out a video to say, you know, happy Christmas or happy whatever it is you celebrate. But you know, work comes first, and I had some things I had to take care of, and took up all my time, and you know, so unfortunately I wasn't able to make it, which is disappointing. But here I am, a little bit late. So what I wanted to do is say that first. I hope you're having a great time, whatever you're doing. I hope this pandemic and all that situation hasn't affected you too adversely. I know there's a lot of people out there that it has. So if you're one of those people, you know, I commiserate. Hopefully, let's look forward. 2021 is rapidly approaching, and yeah, let's hope things get better, eh? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a little talk about what it's like on a yacht at Christmas or at this time of the year. So basically, it just depends really where you are. You know, for instance, if you're at sea, if you're crossing the Atlantic or crossing an ocean, or you know, you're boss on and you're moving around, then I'm afraid Christmas is kind of cancelled really. I mean, in the sense of if you're at sea, then most of the crew are on watch. The ones that aren't on watch are sleeping off, you know, waiting to go on watch. So there's no drinking. Generally, there's no drinking. It depends on the boat, of course, but when you're at sea, the watch keepers can't drink. So there's not a lot of that going on. And the day will be pretty normal, other than you'll have a Christmas meal, right? You'll have a roast or whatever it is that the chef makes, depending on where the chef's from, depending on what he makes. In my experience, they usually make a roast, you know, like a turkey and roast potatoes and stuff like that. If your boat is laid up, like Soaring here, then it's better because you've got that time. Everybody's got the time to take the day off on Christmas Day, apart from the chef and the watch keepers, because you still have watch keepers. So you'll have like one deck department watch keeper, one interior, one engineering, just in case. But apart from that, and they'll be on all day. So apart from that, everyone else kind of gets the day off. Like I said, apart from the chef, who's busy, and usually a couple of people will volunteer to work in the galleys, help them out, peeling potatoes or making drinks or whatever. And yeah, and we have like a nice meal, 1 o'clock time. They'll do like a Secret Santa maybe, or sometimes the boat management will buy the crew gifts, which is always nice. It doesn't happen very often, that, to be honest. It's more often Secret Santa. And yeah, there's a couple of drinks, and everybody has a good time. Maybe even karaoke later on in the day, depending on, you know, who's on board. Especially if you've got Filipinos on board, they love karaoke for some reason. I hate it, but yeah. So you kind of make do with what you have. You have nice food, and everyone kind of has a good time. I kind of keep out the way because I'm not a big Christmas person, so I tend to get called a Grinch or Ebenezer Scrooge or whatever, and then I sort of keep out the way. But yeah, everyone kind of has a good time, and like I said, it just depends on where you are. Like I said, when you're laid up, you can have more of a normal type of Christmas, you know, and under normal times, this is anything but. You can go out, you know, they'll go out, and usually they might even on Christmas Day. Usually Christmas Day they'll have a meal on board, but the days on either side of that, they normally arrange to go out to a restaurant somewhere, and that's also to give the chef some time off, because poor old chef's working away in a galley. Apart from that, I mean, they'll put decorations up in the mess, but apart from that, it's kind of normal, you know. After that day, you kind of get back to normal pretty quickly, and then obviously you've got the new year come up, and then, like I said, under normal circumstances, crew will probably go out, go for a meal and go to a nightclub, something like that. Under these circumstances, they probably have another meal and, you know, sit in a mess and have a few drinks, and that's it. because you're in your bubble, right? So you can do that in your bubble on board. So it's like almost like a family unit. Everybody's tested regularly and all that stuff. So you can relax on board. You don't generally wear masks. Now, if you've got boss on, I would imagine under these circumstances, because I haven't worked boss on in these circumstances, but I would imagine when you've got guests on, they'll want you to keep masked up when you're around the guests, which is fair enough, because you know we're in our bubble and they're in their bubble, and when the two mix, you mask up and you do all the precautions, right? If you're at sea and it's Christmas, what happens? So it just depends really. If you're at sea but the guests are not on, then it's a little bit different. So guests on, it's full on, everybody's working, everything's normal, you have a kind of a nice meal on Christmas Day, but that's it. Because there's not a lot of drinking going on. On some boats, when the guests are on, there's no alcohol. So if that's one of those boats, then you know nobody's drinking, so they're just having a nice meal basically. Well, you have a nice meal every day, but I mean it's a traditional nice meal, and they decorate the tables and stuff like that. If you're at sea and you're like say transiting, like I'll give you an example. I was on a boat a few years ago, and we were on Christmas Eve, like 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. We were told that we had to move from our berth in Hamburg, and we had to go to Bremerhaven, which is not a short trip. It's a day at sea. So 8 p.m. Christmas Eve, we were all getting ready for Christmas Day, and we got told you have to move. So we had to leave Hamburg and sail to Bremerhaven. So we had a day at sea, so obviously nobody's drinking, all the people on the bridge, the engine room's busy and stuff like that. So basically the captain cancelled Christmas and said, right, we're not having Christmas tomorrow, we're going to have it on 26th. So that next day we had a normal day, everything was postponed, and then we got in on the evening of the 25th, I think, or the morning of the 26th, I don't remember. And then when we got there, then we had the Christmas Day, the day after, because it doesn't make any difference really to us because we're all on the boat. So same thing, just a day late. So that's an example of what can happen. You know, work always comes first. So if there's something that has to be done, that's what we're there for. We move the boat, and then we can relax and have a nice day. And it was actually a good idea to do that, because otherwise everybody's, you know, preoccupied with their own stuff. Not drinking and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so it just depends on where you are, who's on board, where you're going, what the weather's like. I mean, if it's really, if you're in, you know, if you're in an ocean somewhere and you're doing a crossing or something, or you're just in bad weather, then no one's going to want to drink and be sitting in the mess eating a big meal when the boat's moving like this. Nobody's going to be interested in the party. So people make the best of the situation, and then you know, when you go home, obviously all your family's at home, or the people, your loved ones are at home, and then sometimes when you go home, you'll have a celebration when you get home, belated one. So yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that we get up to. So yeah, I just thought I wanted to film this before Christmas to put it out, just to give you a little bit of an insight into what goes on. But anyway, I'll do it late. So I'm going to be putting out videos whenever I can. I noticed a lot of YouTubers are taking a break over this time, but they're like full-time YouTubers, so they take a break, which is understandable. Whereas I'm kind of like a part-time YouTuber because I'm still working full-time. But I'll keep putting them out when I can. If I don't put out another one before the new year, I hope you all have a great new year. Let's look forward to 2021 and, you know, and vaccines and all that kind of stuff to get us back to normal. And let's look forward. All right, guys, take it easy. Bye-bye.